Hello, everyone, and welcome to the one-time grant information session for LINCS. I am Lindsay Joseph, the LINCS Program Officer, and we're just going to start this session by reviewing the eligibility criteria that's available on the LINCS website for submitting a grant, and then we will go through some frequently asked questions that I've received in regards to the grant submission process. And then lastly, we'll open it up to questions and answers from the webinar participants. You can use the Q&A button located at the bottom of your screen in order to submit a question. And so we'll begin. Like I said, these criteria are available on the LINCS website when you go to the Apply for Support page after logging in. In order to submit a LINCS grant, you must be a member of the LINCS community. The person who is listed as a person of contact on your application must sign up to be a LINCS member. The application must promote a cardiovascular health program that is based in a low or middle income country as defined by the World Bank's income classification in the areas of hypertension control, salt reduction, or trans fat elimination. These proposals must be aligned with the WHO Heart, Shake, or Replace technical packages. These technical packages are available on the LINCS website if you go to the toolkit section. In addition, these proposals must demonstrate the organization's ability to sustain progress beyond the duration of the grant. The term of the LINCS grants is a maximum of 24 months. Therefore, your proposal must demonstrate how your organization would be able to sustain the program activities suggested in your proposal beyond the duration of the maximum 2-year period. Continuing with the criteria, your proposal must incorporate a strong plan for monitoring and evaluation. We should clearly see established protocols, potential challenges, and your plan for mitigation. You must provide evidence-based rationale for program activities and clearly define the target population for your program. Lastly, you must provide budget justification that details the costs associated with program activities. Where applicable, please include indirect costs in the amount of funding requested. The indirect costs should be included in the total amount that you're requesting. If you have any specific questions about the indirect costs, please email support@lincscommunity.org. Now we'll go through some frequently asked questions that I've received. Are international partners allowed? Yes, we do allow international partners, and we understand that these partners may boost the reputation of the applying organization or may signify a means of providing additional support to the proposed program activities. However, demonstrating sustainability is a key aspect of a successful program, and therefore we aim to prioritize applications with local support and partnerships. Does the budget allow for salary of the principal investigator and key personnel? If so, is there a salary cap? The budget does allow for salary costs for the principal investigator and key personnel. These costs should be included in the staff cost tab of the budget template available on the LINCS website. We do not have a salary cap, but each budget will be reviewed on a case-by-case basis, and we may request revisions if it appears a significant portion of the requested grant funds are allocated to salary costs as opposed to program activities. Are no-cost extensions allowed? Again, the maximum period for a LINCS grant is 24 months. We, at this point, do not have a policy on no-cost extensions, but such requests would be reviewed on a case-by-case basis when the time arises. Can you pay incentives to engage participants or clinical partners, if applicable, from the budget? We also do not have a policy on providing incentives. However, demonstrating the program's ability to be sustainable after the term of a grant is integral to the review process, and the use of incentives, particularly monetary incentives, may impact the sustainability of the grant. Can an organization apply for funds for the 3 focus areas or just one? Your organization can submit an application for each technical area, although it is not likely that we would fund all 3 grants. If you would like to further discuss your ideas for grant applications, my colleagues and I are happy to arrange a call to do so. Of note, we are accepting requests to review proposal ideas until May 15th. After then, you must submit your application as described on the website. Are there any other documents required to be submitted other than the proposal and budget? We don't require any additional documents other than the proposal and budget. If you have letters of support from your institution, we will happily receive that with your application documents, but no additional documents are required. Again, we are happy to review your proposal idea prior to submission, but we are only accepting these requests through May 15th. I will now open the webinar for questions and answers. Again, please use the Q&A function on the bottom of your screen to submit a question. The first question that we received is from Argentina. Can countries that have previously been categorized as low or middle income and are now categorized as high income based on new exchange rates also submit linked grant proposal? Unfortunately, at this time, we are going by the current categorization of the World Bank standards, and we are only accepting proposals from countries currently categorized as low or middle income. The next question is, what is the level of indirect costs allowed in the budget? At Resolve to Save Lives, the maximum amount allowed is 10%. Should you have any additional questions or require some changes with that, we may be in a position to negotiate that, but the maximum allowed is 10%. The next question is, what are the criteria on which the proposals are scored or evaluated? At this time, we are not releasing our grading rubric. However, if you follow the eligibility criteria that is listed on the LINC's website, that is strongly aligned with our grading rubric. The next question, can the proposal cover one or more domains such as research, community mobilization, advocacy, capacity building, etc.? The proposal can cover more than one area. Again, we want to demonstrate that there is sustainability for each area targeted in your proposals. And additionally, we want to make sure that you have a strong monitoring and evaluation plan for each domain that you've specified in your proposal. Yes, these slides will be available on the LINC's website after the webinar session. The next question that we received is whether or not an outline of the proposal may be submitted for review prior to the deadline submission. Yes, again, if you have not already emailed support@linkscommunity.org, you can email us to schedule a meeting to discuss your LINC proposal idea, and we can review generally a paragraph about your proposal ideas. The $200,000 cap applies to the total budget, including the indirect costs. The next question, I have read the SALT card and seen 6 strategy approaches. Should my organization follow these strategies in developing its proposal as it appears? These are your areas of interest. On the line are my colleagues who are technical experts in the three core areas of the LINCS proposals, and so I will let Nicole Ide, our salt reduction expert, address this question.
Sure, thanks for the question. Generally, we follow the elements of the SHAKE package, which is the technical package for salt reduction through the WHO. And those elements are surveillance, harnessing industry to promote reformulation of foods, adopting standards for labeling and marketing, knowledge, which would include communications campaigns, media campaigns, et cetera, and environment, so changes to the environment to promote less salt. So generally we encourage people to include these elements, either one or ideally a combination within their proposal. I would encourage you to do this. That would give you the most success for an application that is in line with what we're looking for.
The next question, in case of a multi-country research proposal, does a $200,000 ceiling still apply? Yes, the $200,000 ceiling is the maximum amount that we will allow for a grant, regardless of how many countries are included in your proposal. Sorry, continuing, how is innovation regarded in an application? We want to make sure that the proposals include evidence-based rationale for the program activities. If you can provide clear justification for why you've included the innovative program activities that you've suggested, again, providing evidence-based rationale, then we can consider your proposal. The next question is whether or not a separate application can be submitted for technical support with the proposal. LINCS does offer technical assistance at no cost. If we deem that your proposal is worthy of additional consultants that we can provide through our technical expert pool, we can consult with you on a separate basis. At this time, I wouldn't submit an additional technical assistance request with your LINCS grant until we've had time to review your LINCS proposal. The next question, how do we deal with references? You are more than welcome and encouraged to include references as footnotes at the end of your LINCS grant proposal. The next question we've received is, must the study be clinically focused? It depends on the technical area that you are seeking to write a grant proposal for. There's no requirement that these grants be technically focused. Again, if you would like to schedule a call to have one of our staff review your proposal idea, you're more than welcome to submit a request, again, prior to May 15th. The next question is, what is the % of administration and running costs that is allowed? Again, we don't have any salary caps. The cap for the maximum amount of indirect costs is 10%. And at this time, we don't have any caps on salary, but this is something that we may review and ask you to revise once we have finished reviewing all of the proposals. Again, can an organization submit multiple applications in one area? We are not, if an organization submits 3 hypertension proposals, for example, we are not likely to fund all 3. It would be beneficial to you to choose which is your strongest proposal and submit that one. I'm sorry, someone has submitted a question in Spanish, and unfortunately,
Hi, I can try to translate that. From Venezuela, we have a program of school health that encompasses the 3 areas that can incorporate like an integral program that can be incorporated as an integral program for this grant. So I think they're asking if they can submit their existing school health program that incorporates the 3 programs, the 3 technical areas for a LINKS grant.
Yes, I think at this time we don't see a problem with that. Yeah, as long as your program aligns with the WHO technical packages. The next question is to clarify the timeline of review and notice of awards and the start of projects. Again, the application deadline is June 15th. Depending on how many proposals we receive, we expect it'll take at least a month for the initial review process. A month after the submission deadline, we will announce the list of finalists. Per the last round of grant funding, this was an iterative process, meaning we frequently went back and forth with the potential grantees to review aspects of their proposal and often had questions requiring revisions or clarifications. Therefore, we don't expect to announce the awards or initiate contracts prior to the end of August. The next question is about the template for the proposal and budget. Again, if you log into the member section of the LINKS website and go to the Apply for Support page, you can find the proposal templates in both PDF and Word versions, and you can find the Excel budget template. Those are the versions of the documents that you should use. Please don't submit your own template for the proposal or budget. The next question is how many grants will be awarded globally? At this point, we have not set a cap on the number of grants that we will award. The next question is, if one is not able to make the June deadline, would you be able to say when the next call deadline will be? At this point, we have not decided when the next application deadline will be. We will be sure to send out communications via LINKS about the opening of the next call for application. Can in-country resolve and vital strategies teams be collaborators? Yes, if you can send an email to support@linkscommunity.org with the potential proposal ideas, that would be great. Unfortunately, at this time, we're not going to open up the meeting audio, as sometimes that can be distracting. We are only interacting via the Q&A text platform for now. The next question is it okay for one organization to submit one proposal in hypertension focus area and another in trans fat in this cycle? Again, it is okay for an organization to submit applications in different technical areas. However, it is unlikely that we would fund 2 applications for one organization. The reporting requirements for approved grantees, there are quarterly reports, both financial and programmatic, that we would expect, as well as monthly check-ins via email or conference calls. Are there any other questions? The next question is, can a CSO or government submit a proposal, and who should be the lead? Yes, LINCS members are eligible to submit a proposal on behalf of a government. We ask that a member of the Ministry of Health be the point of contact for the LINCS grant submission. Should the proposal focus on all technical elements of the HEARTS package? I want to address hypertension, or can I include part of it? The hypertension grants are not required to, the LINCS proposals are not required to touch on all aspects of the WHO technical packages. If you, Miriam, would like to email us with your proposal ideas, we can get back to you regarding the elements of the package that you would like to include. There's a question regarding the application for technical assistance. Yes, the technical assistance application is also available on the LINCS website once you log in at the Apply for Support page. There's no deadline for applying for technical assistance. So if you decide that you do not want to submit an application for grant funding this round, you are more than welcome to submit an application for technical assistance at this time. Again, there's no deadline for TA requests. Is information on previous grants awarded by the LINCS mechanism available? We have posted to our website a copy of the press release, which announced who received grants in the previous round. Again, the list of countries on the press release does not reflect a list of priority countries or eligible countries. LINCS grants are open to all low and middle income countries, but a copy of the press release is available on the LINCS website. Does the program have to teach materials from HEARTS, etc., or just align with the same lessons? You're not required to teach materials from the WHO technical packages. It must demonstrate strong alignment with the core principles of the technical packages. There are no word limits for the proposal template. It's just a general guideline. The next question is, would a trans fat elimination proposal focusing on conducting surveillance without specifically testing for TFA be considered for funding?
Thank you for this question. I think probably best to submit your idea that we can review and provide feedback in advance of developing a full proposal. One of the core action areas of the Replace Action Package is assessment of trans fat levels in foods or trans fat intake in the population. So I think as long as your activities are aligned with that action area of the Replace technical package, it should be fine, but feel free to submit for our review.
There's a question from Zambia. Can newly formed organizations participate in the proposal submission? Yes, we don't have restrictions on whether or not newly formed organizations can participate. Again, if you have additional letters of support from other institutions, you may want to consider including that with your proposal submission, but you're more than welcome to submit an application. There's a question, do we invite school intervention? Yes, we don't have any restrictions at this time about proposals for school intervention. There's a question, what is the level of sustainability that we expect from the proposed project? We want to see that the activities proposed in your application will be able to be maintained by in-country staff or government officials, depending on your technical area, beyond the scope of the 24-month period. If, for example, you're doing a hypertension control program, we would like to see that the program activities that you suggested, in your proposals could be sustained beyond the 2 years. Again, these LINKS grants are meant to be catalytic funding in order to launch your cardiovascular health program, not to sustain your cardiovascular health program. How would a proposal where part is outlined as a pilot project and part would be the launch of a full-scale program as continuation of the pilot be considered? I think we would have to really evaluate both aspects of the proposal. Again, these grants are only 24 months, and it would come to question whether or not pilot projects could be fully carried out, evaluated, and then also have funding for the launch of a full-scale program in this 24-month period. We have time for additional questions. The next question is, can we do a salt reduction program in the same pilot area for hypertension control? If so, will that support the hypertension control? Yes, you are able to submit a proposal for salt reduction program in the same area for same pilot area. Do we encourage proposals that include more than one country? In the previous round, we received applications for proposals that included more than one country, and we even funded one. We don't encourage or discourage proposals that include more than one country. Again, you would just need to include justification for the inclusion of more than one country, and demonstrate an ability to monitor and evaluate the activities in the countries that you've specified. We still have time for questions. If you have specific questions about your proposal idea, we could welcome that at this time. There's a question, will I develop a Q&A document based on today's discussion? Yes. This will be available on the LINC's website for reference. There's a question, can my organization include part of the hypertension component in the salt reduction proposal? Again, yes, we understand that these two areas are linked. So you are welcome to include hypertension components in salt reduction proposals and vice versa. Any additional questions? Okay, we've received a few additional questions. We have a Scholar Health program that includes 3 areas that we want to propose. Is it possible? again, you are able to submit proposals with including each of the three technical areas, though your monitoring and evaluation plan should be strong for each. The next question, must the proposal be in English? Unfortunately, at this time, we would not have translation abilities for multiple languages, and so at this time, we're only accepting proposals in English. Tied to that question, while the proposal must be submitted in English, Francophone countries or Spanish-speaking countries are more than welcome to submit applications. Again, they must be low and middle-income countries. The next question is, can the proposal include awareness and health education advocacy and advocacy without addressing treatment protocols? Yes, we would have to review your proposal. Also, sorry, of note, when you are asking a question about your proposal, can you include your desired technical area? But to answer your question, Miriam, can the proposal include awareness and health education advocacy without addressing treatment protocols? Yes. We've got a question about a hypertension proposal, whether or not a pilot project for hypertension chronic care could be scaled up as a proposal. Yes, you can scale up your hypertension chronic care pilot as a possible LINKS grant application. There's a question, do we have examples on how different countries have used resolved protocols and adapted them to local contexts, such as the ones provided on the LINKS website? If you would like further examples, we can set up a call to discuss other activities that Resolve has been a part of and how you may adopt similar program activities for your LINKS grant application. Thank you, Miriam, for the clarification. With regard to our hypertension proposals in particular, we do acknowledge and welcome proposals that include awareness and health education, though we try to prioritize proposals that focus on the E, A, and T, S modules of the WHO technical packages. We have a question. Since this is an NIH grant, will we need someone from the U.S. Institute to be the principal investigator, even though we are applying from a low-income country? For clarification, this is not an NIH grant. Available on the LINCS website is information regarding a separate NIH grant call for applications. This is a grant funding mechanism offered through Vital Strategies and WHO. You do not require someone from a U.S. institute to be the principal investigator of a LINCS proposal. We have a question, can the 2-year proposal be a pilot project in itself with plans to scale up after funding ends? Yes, again, sustainability and scalability are key aspects of a successful LINCS grant proposal. Therefore, we would welcome an application of this kind. Any additional questions? We'll have 2 more minutes for questions. Again, if you were unable to ask your question on this webinar session, you're more than welcome to email support@lincscommunities.org to schedule a call with one of our technical officers to discuss your LINCS proposal further. Last question, what could you include in the proposal that would demonstrate an acceptable level of sustainability? Again, perhaps, Javier, it would be best if you emailed us and suggested your proposal ideas, and then we could better help you discuss what would demonstrate an acceptable level of sustainability as it pertains to your project. And the final question, if an organization is awarded a grant, the organizations may not be notified until August. What would be, when will the funding actually be provided? In the last round of funding, it took anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. It depends on the recipient organization and how long it takes negotiations to occur on their end. On our end, they can be executed rather quickly, but we understand that the contracts need to go through several rounds of legal negotiation with the with the recipient organization. But we expect that in early September, these grants could be awarded. Again, these questions and answers will be made available to you all on the LINCS website. Thank you all for your participation, and we are accepting proposal review requests, proposal idea review requests until May 15th, and the application deadline is June 15th. Thank you.